congrats. Now it's your second season hosting something in Bachelor Nation. Just, I guess, what makes hosting the Bachelorette different than the Bachelor, especially now that we have two Bachelorettes full time this season?
Yeah, more work. You got a lot more that you have to keep track of. It's
Right?
who's dating who. It's like you're in your living room and there's a crime scene and you're putting pictures and names and you're attaching everything by strings and it's a
Yeah.
massive web. That's
The
basically what it's
murder
like.
wall.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This is like the love wall between Rachel and Gabby. So it's a little bit of that. I think what I've learned, hosting these shows is that you wear a lot of different hats as the host, obviously. What made this unique for me was that I already had a personal experience and relationship with both Rachel and Gabby, having hosted Clayton's season.
Yeah.
So I was there for that, for their journeys there. I was in Iceland at the rose ceremony from hell, at the devastating double breakup. It was incredibly emotional. And it was amazing to see how they supported each other through that. So for me, I think on this one, right out of the gate, just being a huge cheerleader for both Rachel and Gabby, knowing them personally and just knowing how much they deserve this opportunity, and really just hoping that they find what they're looking for at the end of it.
And, having done the season with Clayton, where a lot of wild cards were definitely thrown at you throughout the season, I think is an understatement. But did you learn anything from that outing that maybe you were able to apply this time?
Expect the unexpected, really, is what I learned on that, is that, as much as you ever think where things are going to go and what's going to happen and who's going to end up with who, even as the host, you ultimately don't know anything. So it's like playing football as a quarterback. You just got to be nimble. You got to be able to have short area quickness, and be there. And it's not just being there for one person, but it's being there for two people, and two different people.
Yeah.
Two people that are going through different relationships, and who are having their own experiences and are looking for different things. Never making it about myself, making it about them, and being there for them when needed. And if I can help them at all, from drawing on my previous experience, having been the Bachelor, then I'm always trying to be there to help guide them as best I can. But it was, because this is a new format, something we've never seen before, we just did not know what to expect. And we sort of just rode the lightning all the way through it. And Bachelor Nation, I'm so excited for them to see this, because there's just going to be so many situations arise that people have just never seen before watching the show.
Yeah, and touching on that, I know ABC has said it's not a competition between the two women, but obviously a lot of fans are wondering what happens if they are both interested in the same guy. Is that something you're able to tease out a little bit? I know you can't get into specifics, but I guess how do you navigate that situation?
Great question. And we didn't know either at the start of all this. And that's something that we talked about, I think, internally, was, well, what happens if there's a big group of guys? What are the chances both of them could start falling in love with the same person? What if one guy falls in love with both of them?
Right.
These are things that we just didn't know could happen, would happen. And it's all possible. It's all out there. What I'll go back to is the friendship and the connection that Rachel and Gabby have.
Yeah.
And just how it's amazing to see them together, and people will see this, how they're able to be there for one another and have real conversations, sometimes tough conversations, to try to navigate their own journeys throughout this entire thing. But their friendship and their support of one another, I think, is a huge theme in this, that people are going to see.
Yeah, because I think you need that, so that they, like you said, they're able to have those conversations with each other without maybe you having to try to initiate some of these uncomfortable moments, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
And, might we have a contender for most dramatic rose ceremony ever this season?
Yes, you will.
Will that promo come out?
I'm sure it's going to get promoed. Haven't seen the edits yet. There are several. There is one in particular that I know is going to light up social media and Bachelor Nation, guaranteed.
Right. And for you, it's been 18 years since your season of The Bachelor. I guess, what do you think is maybe the biggest change when it comes to the type of people who are trying out for the show, or trying to be the suitors?
That's a great question. Yeah, that's an awesome question. the show has grown so much since I was on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Social media obviously now is a thing too. I'm dating myself. We did not have social media when I did. Bachelor Nation has grown by leaps and bounds. I can't think of another show that has as dedicated a fan base, as passionate a fan base,
Yeah.
following it as this show does. Having said that, a lot of people that come on the show watch the show and have watched reality TV for a very long time. So I think
Yeah.
sometimes people try to be calculated.
Yeah.
They think they know the formula. And what I've learned being on it and now and watching it for years, now hosting it, is that if you think you know the answers to the test when you get here, you're in for a rude awakening. Reality TV has a way of going in directions that there's things that are going to happen here that you just never can expect or anticipate. So to me, the people that generally have the best experiences on shows like this are the ones that are real, and the ones that can be vulnerable and are okay with showing showing moments of showing themselves.
Yeah.
And all of themselves, not just to the people that they're on camera with, but to millions and millions of people at home watching, which is not an easy thing to want to do or to do in the moment. That's what I think.
And, we know some people are obviously here just to be on television, but for those ones that are in it for real reasons, why do you think they do keep coming back, knowing that maybe the track record for these couples isn't that great?
Yeah, I think it's because people know that this can work. And just like I do, having lived it too, you're right. People come for different reasons, but I think if you come for genuine reasons and you really do want to find love, I mean, this show has an established track record of couples that made it. And they've had these beautiful lives, and we've been able to kind of follow them along the way. This is something that works, but you got to be real. You got to be raw. You have to be vulnerable. It's not for everybody, but the people that can do that, I think, stand the best chance and ultimately get what they want out of this, which is everlasting love. And it's beautiful. And I think that's why we watch.
And, for you now being host, has it made you look at the show in a different way? I guess, is there something maybe when you were the Bachelor that maybe you were frustrated with that now you look at and you're like, oh, I appreciate this now?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I mean, I was so much younger, obviously, when I did it, but being on the other side of the lens now in a lot of respects, and just seeing how, kind of what goes down, I think you just realize there's obviously so many moving parts. This thing is an absolute machine. But my experience, at least hosting 2 shows up to this point, I'm in the middle of hosting my 3rd, is just, the special moments, the special bonding between people and sort of finding each other is really the magic of all this. And when it's natural, when it happens, it's the most gratifying thing for me, at least, seeing it from my side. There's a lot of there are more moving parts to this than I ever thought when I was actually the Bachelor. I mean, there's so much that goes into this and so much that's going on. And the fact that you can have so many cast members and people, and then for 2 people it's actually amazing that it does work because of all the different, hoops that everybody has to kind of jump through and all the drama and all the chaos. But it makes me actually appreciate it more when there is a love story at the end and 2 people come out of it happy. It's incredible.
And lastly, just, are you prepared for this season's reunion after the final rose? How do you kind of mentally prepare yourself for those kinds of things that are often a little more fiery than some of the other, episodes?
Yeah, of course. It's no, I'm not ready for it. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna take some time and get myself mentally ready, but there are going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot to have to digest and go back over and clarify and get closure. I think that's one of the great things about these live specials is there's a lot of questions left unanswered. There's a lot of closure that a lot of the cast need together. Rachel and Gabby's season is not short on drama. That is for sure. And it's not just between them and cast, but as you know, at Men Tell All, that's going to be an absolute circus. And so, we'll have to get through that as well. And it's there's going to be a lot to discuss. A lot of very difficult conversations, but a lot of conversations that need to be had. I'll say that.
All right. Well, I am looking forward to seeing the season, as I'm sure Bachelor Nation is as well. Thank you so much for your time today, Jesse.
You got it, man. Thanks so much. Great talking with you.
Likewise.